Good afternoon on this beautiful snowy day in New England. As I sit here doing this video with the snow falling behind me, we're going to talk today about freedom and liberty. Now, again, these are two words that are interchangeable, or are they? Liberty, broadly speaking, is the ability to act as one pleases. Freedom represents a lack of restraint or unrestrained ability to fulfill one's desire. Now, in Hannah Pitkin's article, Are Freedom and Liberty Twins?, she says that the origins of freedom and liberty are still disputed among historians. But one of the easiest ways to see what liberty is in our Bill of Rights. Now, the first 10 amendments to the Constitution. We have the freedom of speech, we have the freedom of religion, we have the freedom of the press, we have the right to bear arms, and we have the right to assemble. And these are what they are called negative rights. They don't give us a physical service, but they guarantee that the government is not going to restrict us from doing them. They're not going to restrict you from speaking your mind. They won't restrict you from practicing your religion, and they can't halt the formation of an organized militia. In the United States, our Constitution grants us liberty, not freedom. Because, according to Rousseau, the general will of the people, freedom, can't be decided by elected representatives. And in the United States, freedom is a personal construct and not something our government can restrict. The Pledge of Allegiance says, at the end says, with liberty and justice for all. It doesn't say with freedom and justice for all. And again, freedom is the general term for not having restraints placed on you, whether generally or in a specific area. Liberty is the idea that you should be able to do anything that doesn't infringe on the rights of others. So we do have the right to speak our mind. We have the right to have religion. We have the right to free press. But what you don't have the right to do is to force somebody else to be that religion that you are because you say it's the best way. You don't have the right to tell somebody what they should and shouldn't be doing. Freedom of speech. You have freedom of speech, but you don't have freedom of consequences. For example, you can go to work and tell your boss what you think of him. But there is no guarantee that the consequence won't be that the next day you're going to find yourself on the unemployment line. Because that interferes with the rights of somebody else. Do you have the freedom to smoke? Absolutely. Do you have the freedom to destroy my lungs in the process? No. You cannot interfere with the rights of somebody else. Your rights do not supersede somebody else's. And that's what liberty is. You have the liberty to be able to do what you want as long as it doesn't interfere with somebody else's rights, because your rights are not more important than theirs. Now, Edmund Burke believed in sort of a form of freedom. He championed a moral, manly liberty, and he understood and recognized the power of self-interest, but he also emphasized self-restraint. And we can't do it alone. John Donne had said, no man is an island entire of itself. Every man is a piece of the continent, a part of the main. We cannot have a government all by yourself. People have to work together and live together in order to be a civilization. And in the video that on the Magna Carta that Daniel Hannan was giving, he was correct what he said when he said about the natural rights that we have. That's not freedom, that's liberty. We have those natural rights, but they weren't given to us. The right to free speech, the right to free press, that wasn't a natural right. That was given to us by people who thought that we should have it. And so are freedom and liberty the same? No. They are two different things, but they can be used interchangeably.